the early 1900s, August Zamzow made his way into downtown Meridian, and unbeknownst to all of us here in the Treasure Valley today, helped create one of the most famous families for lawn, garden, and pet supplies. The Zamzow's family has been here serving the Treasure Valley with so many wonderful organic products throughout so many years. And today we're gonna get the opportunity to not only take a look at the stores, but also visit Old Town Meridian and see the original mill that started it all. Little did we know that with just some sandwiches and the train tracks, the Treasure Valley would change. My name is Kit Fitzgerald, and today I'm your host of The American Dream. So I'm super excited today to introduce you to one of my favorite people in the entire world, the CEO of Zamzow's, my friend Callie Zamzow. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be doing this today. So I thought it would be a fun way to start by inside of a Zamzow's store and have you tell us the story of your great-great-grandfather and how he made it here.
Yeah, well, so it was the early 1900s, and he was traveling from Minnesota. They were heading to California. He and his brother, and they ended up stopping in Meridian. Just my grandfather got off to go get a sandwich, ran into town. When he came back, the train was already moving. And so he literally had to throw the sandwich to his brother, and then he was left with the change in his pocket and in a town he had never heard of before.
And little did he know that his whole life would change. And if it wasn't for him missing the train, we would not have Zamzow's, the mill, Dynamite, Dr. Jim's, all the different products that you will have around.
Yes.
So today we are visiting the Zamzow's store at the Water Tower location, which is just one of the 12 stores that you all have across the valley. So I'll have you take us around, show us some of the things that you all sell here, and then after that, we'll head over to the mill for the historic tour.
Let's go.
All right. All right, Callie, so we are at the world famous mill in Old Town Meridian. So why don't we show me around, tell me a little bit about all of the historic pieces of this, but maybe first start with the fact that this building is old.
It is.
And structurally so cool.
In fact, this side is actually the new side.
No.
Yes, this was this whole building on the other side was constructed in the early 1900s. And then in 1950, my grandfather, Bernard Zamzow, had this part added on.
In 1950, but still old.
Still
and
old.
all wood.
Yeah.
Wooden, which is just crazy because you think about the fact that you're running machinery through here.
Right.
Mostly by hand.
Yes.
But still, it's wooden.
Yes, it's all wood, and they don't make things like this anymore. You just can kind of see the way that the beams were constructed and how they, just the massive size of some of these pieces of wood that they used to build this portion of the mill.
Pretty incredible. And so all of these bags, all of this feed that you're seeing here, everything behind us and around us is hand measured and poured.
Yes, in fact, this is a very hands-on mill. It's very old-fashioned. We have eyes on the process through the whole thing, which is very different than how milling is done today. Most of the time it's machinery, and humans don't see it at all, from start to finish. So processing nowadays, first of all, humans don't see from start to finish. Computers can literally do all of it. As long as the bins are full of the ingredients, a computer can run all of it. And so, and a lot of what they're trying to do now is just do it more quickly. And quickly means heat. So we do have it's kind of a clunky system, and it's very old-fashioned, and there's lots of people involved and lots of labor, but it does mean that we can do it at a much lower temperature, which means that the vitamins stay intact. We're not denaturing the proteins. So the actual food that the animal's eating is still food. It's not processed.
You have a story that's very interesting about the alpacas.
Yeah, so there was a very terrible incident that happened with a very large feed mill where they accidentally cross-contaminated. So what happens is in a feed mill, obviously you have a lot of different ingredients. When you're making for specific species, some things cannot be cross-contaminated. If they do, then you could literally kill the species. So this happened, I don't know, 20 years ago or so, and It was alpaca feed. The alpacas ate the feed, and it actually killed an entire bloodline. It was a very tragic situation. That was one of the things that caused us to say, you know what, we've got to be really careful in our mill about cross-contamination. And it was at that time that we said, you know what, there are certain things that we're just not going to have in our feeds at all. So at this point, if we are accidentally cross-contaminated in anything in our mill, it's totally fine, because anything that could be fed to a chicken can be fed to an alpaca, could be fed to a human.
Well, thank you for joining me today to learn all about the Zamzow family and all that they've brought to the Treasure Valley over the years. I hope you enjoyed the mill and the history along with it, and knowing that there is an organization out there that is still ensuring that all of your animals' feed are healthy and organic and good for them. That's all I have for today. We'll see you next time on The American Dream.